Autumn in zones 3 and 4 is time to clean up the garden beds, put the tools away, and wait for snow. So what are we doing planting carrots in November? Hello, this is Stephen from Short Season Garden, and I offer tips and tricks for gardening in any climate, but especially for short seasons like here in Zone 3B, Zone 4A in Eastern Canada. So give my video a thumbs up and a comment, subscribe to my channel, or you can check me out on Instagram or Facebook at Short Season Garden. Some things need to be planted in the cold. For example, I always plant my garlic in the fall. Several years ago, I dubiously followed advice from Brian at Next Level Gardening and successfully planted potatoes in the fall. Potatoes.
Potatoes?
Yeah, potatoes.
Potatoes?
And anyone who has tried winter sowing knows that you can plant seed in winter in milk jugs or juice jugs and set them outside. The seeds will wait out the tough winter weather and wait for the proper time to germinate in the spring, giving already hardened off seedlings to set out in the garden. But planting seeds in the cold ground in November seems counterintuitive. However, last autumn I watched Ashley at Gardening in Canada, who lives in Saskatchewan, Canada, talk about planting seeds in the ground in autumn. And since I love to experiment, I decided to give it a try. Normally I add organic material to the top of my beds in the autumn without turning it in. I figured it would give the seeds a better chance if I turned the bed over a bit and fluffed up the surface. Peas and beets are pretty cold hardy, and the seeds are not too tiny, so I decided to plant them first, adding them beside my asparagus that I would be cutting down in the spring. Carrots are a cold hardy vegetable, but the seeds are very tiny, so it would be interesting to see how they would do. Poppies are notoriously difficult to transplant, so I figured they would be a good candidate for fall planting. I've always struggled to grow onions from seeds indoors, so with nothing to lose, I threw in a package of blush onion seeds, a jumbo red storage onion. I covered everything with a layer of finely mulched leaves and waited for spring. Most of what I've shown so far in this video I posted last November. While I got some encouraging comments, some comments were pretty negative. After all, winters here in northwestern New Brunswick, Canada are long and cold. Still, I looked forward to seeing the results in the spring. Finally, spring arrived. The snow gradually melted and the mulch eventually thawed. On April 30th, I carefully and methodically removed the mulch, trying not to disturb the seeds. My dead asparagus plants from last fall have been removed from the first bed. I kind of expected the beets and especially the peas to sprout, since they have a pretty good seed size and can germinate at quite cool temperatures. I didn't have much faith with the carrots, with the tiny little seeds and slow germination. If the poppies and onions did anything, it would be a bonus. Periodically throughout the month of May, I scanned for results. On May 28th, I once again began to scan the surface of each bed looking for results. There was no sign of the peas and beets that I had thought would surely germinate. The second bed didn't look much better. Wait a minute, was that carrot seedlings? Ever so tiny. They were starting to sprout. Well, it looked like I had been skunked in the first and third beds. I was going to at least get a few carrots. At first it looked like they had skipped badly, but little by little they began to sprout. On July 15th, I was out thinning carrots for supper. While that is not exceedingly early, it's about average for my climate. It would have been a better experiment if I had planted some carrot seeds this spring to compare. Life kind of interrupted gardening this spring, and I was late getting anything planted, so it was nice that the carrot experiment worked. If you've planted seeds in the fall in a cold climate, let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment, and we'll see you in the next one.